Hello, hello. Testing, testing, testing. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Sorry, I'm just getting this on my phone so I can make sure it's working. Testing, 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 testing. Okay, you can probably hear that. Okay, cool. It is working. I guess I'll leave it up on my phone so I can see if people chat. We're gonna watch some games, as usual. We got round 4 and playoffs, round 1, upper bracket. I would have done lower bracket, but I didn't really want to see any of those games, so. We got Semi-Naked versus Skylement from round 4 from my group, Rice Shower versus Tila from the other group, and then Tila versus Soap playoff. Um, so let's see the first game. I guess we'll just go into it. Actually, I'll get a quick drink and I'll be back. Hopefully more people join. BRB. Okay. I got a drink. Let's begin. Semi-Naked versus Skylement. Rome versus Nervii. Kind of interesting matchup. I don't remember what the format was in Group 4. Maybe it was best of 3. Let me go look once this loads. Give me 1 sec to look at this. Round 4. What was it? Yeah, best of 3. So, alright, let's see the armies here for Skylant is Nervia. He has Rush. Kind of strange, in my opinion, to rush Rome, because Rome is going to bring a lot of infantry. I can pretty easily deal with this, I would say, because your infantry is very weak when you do this, because he has 2 Noble Horse, which is a lot of Noble Horse, and they're not very good. He has 4 Mighty Horse, but they're only medium, and they're not that good either. And now he has 3 Javcab, which is nice, but he only has 2 Celtics and 4 Fierce Swords, which is like a pretty weak infantry force. Rome, of course, not gonna have the best infantry force themselves, however, but you expect them to have some veteran legionnaires and stuff, or Evocati. And okay, he has some Levy Freeman, some Spear Brothers, 2 Spear Brothers, 3 Levy Freeman, 3 Javcav, 4 Mighty Horse, 2 Noble Horse, 4 Fierce Swords, and 2 Celtic Warriors. It's okay, that's fine. Sky Element, though, not bringing a single Javcav unit, which means these guys are going to be super important to the game plan for Sky Element, or sorry, for Semi-Naked, because they're really going to be able to terrorize these Cav, force some of these Vigiles or Hastati to defend the rear, and also they can kill his archers at some point. But that means his infantry is going to be quite strong, because the Numidians, 2 Numidians, for example, at 550 each, that's 1,000 denarii off of your infantry force, essentially. So he's going to have 3 Triarii up front, very nice. He's going to have 3 Avocati, most likely, maybe if they're Legionary. Nope, 3 Avocati, 3 Astadi, 3 Syrian Archers. He does have a good cav force as well, 2 Sacco Extraordinarii, and 3 Equites with the Legatus General, and 2 Vigiles. So it's a pretty strong infantry force. The Hastati are going to be a bit weak against the Fierce Swords, but they can handle the Celtics and the Spears. Your Spears are usually going to be pretty decent in melee, and of course the 3 Avocati are going to be very strong. And you don't have terrible cab, because the Equites are pretty good in melee actually. They have high armor, pretty good health. They have low melee defense, which a bit kind of sucks, but besides that, it's pretty good. Socrates Extraordinary are going to be very good against the medium Mighty Horse, so that'll be important. And okay, you can see what he's doing. He's just giving the attack orders here and YOLO charging. But it looks like Sky Element has successfully seen this coming. So like this, for example, is going to be a very good fight for Rome, because they're going to block the charge, and the Hastati are going to get in pretty clean. And the Syrians are already firing into this blob. And the Equites, they'll trade okay with the Mighty Horse. It's not great. But again, here even, okay, they're going to get Javelin in the back, but this is completely fine, because if he gets this charge, the Hastati will probably win this fight. And yes, your cab's going to take a lot of damage, but if the infantry dies for uh, Nervii, it's literally hopeless because these aren't shot cav, these are medium melee cav, and you have some noble horse, sure, but the massive amount of infantry, especially with the heavy spears and the avocado and stuff, will absolutely dominate cav in an endgame. So you really need his infantry to do something to give his cav some time to get some rear charges and start to turn the infantry fight in his favor. These jab cav also seem kind of out of place right now. Like they can go snipe something, I guess, but you want to see them a bit closer to shoot these cav as they try to go forward. And again, here you're gonna block the charge of these three swords. These three swords already got charged. You're gonna win this fight here. You're gonna win this fight because the Avocado are coming in, and this Cav's gonna do a lot of damage. Here you're gonna get a nice counter charge on the general and block him from charging with an Avocado in support. Here you're gonna block, so he's gonna block the charges everywhere, which is a big problem, except for maybe here, right? This is the only place he doesn't have a Cav unit. He could use his general to do so. So he gets a nice flattening charge there, absolutely devastating charge there, already 20 men dead. Here you can see not as many because the Cav is so much lighter. Here the Stock Extraordinary are going to do a good job blocking that Noble Horse. He is going to sacrifice some Syrians for this, though. Here you can see, oh, he didn't charge. Oh, he did charge, but it's just a bit late. Just going to lose the Syrian. The Syrians, although, they could actually tank this for a little bit, though. If he, like, pulls out these Cav, his general's coming over here, so that's good. Here, he only charges the Triaris, doesn't really matter. Here, the counter charge is coming in here, but the Hastati probably going to do pretty well in that fight, and they are winning already. Avocado is going to dominate the center, Triari going to kill some spears off, Avocado going to kill off the Fear Swords. And you have to say that all is well in Romeville here, because these Jab Cav are getting pushed back. The Syrians, you can see they only lost four men to that charge, because they're heavy, or they have armor, and the Jab Cav are so light. Again, here, going to take a bit more damage, though. I'm very surprised they only lost 4 men, that's pretty insane. Over here, though, the Noble Horse getting in and winning, but pretty much everywhere else, you can see Hastati and Triarii teaming up on the Sphere Sword, Avocado winning. Okay, Vigilantes might lose, so he loses this fight. So I would just start moving over here, abandon, maybe, okay, your general's getting shot, that kind of sucks. But anyway, yeah, infantry are winning. Now he just needs to consolidate. You don't want to stay spread out, because if you're spread out, his cav can pick off your units one by one. So you probably want to consolidate, um, you know, either around these units or maybe around these units. This Avocado is about to kill off this Sphere Sword. You wouldn't want to get this Avocado recharged if possible, or at least make it expensive with Archer Fire. So you're probably going to have to give up this Archer, this Vigilante, that's probably fine. You're going to try to get back in here and do some damage on these guys. Hastati killing off the Celtic Warriors. Avocado quite healthy, Triarii quite healthy. Avocado pretty healthy, Triarii full. So you have a lot of full infantry units, and you do not have a lot of healthy cav at this point. Like the general is already down quite a bit. He pops loyalty the 10th, kind of a meme, but whatever. It will mean these Equites will hold on, which is nice. Here the Jav Cav starting to come into their own though. Now that units are off the field, the Jav Cav can really start doing a lot of damage to the Cav. And semi-naked right now, he wants to just kill off the Cav and try to look for isolated units and try to keep as much of his infantry alive as possible. Although he's doing, he's not having much success with that, which is not really his fault. It's just a nature of the units on the field. General's gonna go down for Rome. Not gonna be a huge deal though. Again, this Avocado already killed off the Fear Sword, so now it can consolidate. And now you pretty much want to just consolidate over here is what I would do. Don't try to go help out these units because this Avocado is now a target, right? He'll try to focus it down with his Cav and kill it off, which would be bad. However, these Socrates Extraordinary are winning the Cav fight over here. Maybe this, other Mighty Horse at 20 men might be able to kill us off, but it'll be close. But there's just too much infantry left. Like I said, if this comes down to heavy infantry in the endgame against the Cav, which is already depleted, it will be absolutely fine um, for Rome, because these infantry will not die to Kev. Um, he did, Samyaka did a good job killing off the Cav force for Rome, which is expected. He has a lot more Cav and also the 3 Jav Cav, but he wasn't able to kill the infantry in time, is what it would look like to me, because the infantry just won so freaking fast for Rome that basically there's just the cavalry, weren't in time to actually support the infantry. He probably also should not have let so many of his infantry units get charged. Like the 2 charges from the Equite and the Extraordinaria on his Fear Swords is devastating, because the Fear Swords are going to do even worse than they're expected to um, if they get charged. You have so much cav, you need to block all the roaming cav charges if possible. There's even a Syrian archer alive here, which is going to do a lot of damage. It's going to go down soon, but it's going to force him to send cav into here to kill it, which means they're probably going to get peeled. He really should only use his draft cav for this. But firing into this blob already is like worth it for the Syrians with precision shot. They're getting a lot of kills. They're going to go down here, but the cav is too depleted essentially. Like you can see, these Avocado, these Triarii are so healthy. The Triarii could probably win this by themselves. at this point, because the cav is just so depleted they can't charge the Terraria. And there's no infantry left at all. I mean, there's one Celtic warrior, but shit, like, that's really not enough, and one levy free. But yeah, I mean, Skyrim just played this kind of like good enough. Like, he just countercharged everywhere, blocked all the charges, said that my infantry's gonna win, even got some charges. And then just said, yeah, you can try to kill my archers, but I'm going to do some damage to your cav, and by the time my infantry wins, your cav will be depleted, and my infantry will be quite okay. But you can see, like, if his Sphere Sword's got a few more charges, maybe these Abakati are a bit more depleted, maybe some Triarii are dead, but there's just too much infantry. There's 3 Triarii and 3 Abakati, and 3 Hastati. That's 9 infantry you have to kill with only 4 Fierce Swords and 2 Celtic Warriors and some Levy Freemen. Like, that's just not going to happen. I think he needs to shoot for a different approach in the next game, because Rome is just too strong against Cav of this mediocre quality. Like, if these are shot cav, then yeah, you can win this endgame probably if you keep your cav healthy. But with medium melee cav and shitty noble horse that are already depleted as fuck, you're not getting anything done here. And they should just master out here because yeah, there's just nothing to do here. And you have Capilla coming in, and yeah, these mighty horses aren't going to do a lot of damage on the charge. That's the problem. They're really just not. And the Roman infantry can really stand up to this kind of weak charges, and they're such high attack that they'll just start, you know, chipping away at the cav. So that's game one. Quite a bit of infantry you can see, and yeah, I think if you're semi-naked here, you really need to think about something different because this is not going to work. You could try it a couple more times, but it's just not going to work. So you have Akadi getting nice kills, Terraria getting nice kills and not taking any damage. Hastati, you know, they're something that can actually die, and of course they're weak against the Fierce Swords, and even the Celtic Warriors is pretty close. So they're a target, and they're also on the flanks, which means they're the first units to get killed, which just makes sense. So they did fine, whatever. They get 100 kills, one of them insta dies. It is what it is. But yeah, the heavy infantry doing fine. The cav doing enough damage to both infantry and cavalry to make this pretty easy. So let's see. Yeah, he changed it. He changes it up. That's good. That's what you want to see. Going for a nice 4 Oathsworn approach, which may be too many Oathsworn, but we'll have to see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 Oathsworn up front, 2 Celtics, 1 Naked Spear. I'd like to see this unit like in reserve or something, because out in the front here it can just die to Archer Fire and 2 Pila and Cav Charges. And then 3 Levy Freemen, 4 Slingers, 3 Jav Cav, and 3 Mighty Horse. Same army for Sky Element. Let's go for that. 3 Terrarii, 3 Avocati, 3 Astadi, 3 Equites, 2 Extras Extraordinariae, Legatus General, and 2 Vigiles, 3 Syrian Archers as well. So now it's an interesting battle because there's only 3 cab on the field here. Good spear support, undoubtedly, but good and good 4 slingers is nice, and the 3 jav cabs. So you have a lot of good support for Nervii, but your infantry is all consolidated in these 4 Oathsworn essentially. Whereas Rome, again, they have 3 Astadi, they have 3 Triarii, and they have 3 Avocati, so they're gonna have a lot, and they're gonna have more cav. Although they have to deal with this jav cav, and Rome really sucks at dealing with jav cav because Vigiles don't have javelins. So you're pretty much forced to use your archers or your Hastati to do that, and then that causes you problems because those are units that would rather be fighting somewhere else than looking at Javcat the entire game. 4 Slingers versus 3 Syrians is not really a great fight for Sky Element to take. I think Semi-Naked would happily trade the Syrians down with the Celtic Slingers. Here you can see he's just YOLOing it in there, a bit risky. And he's going to take a Javelin Volley, but most of them miss because they're so far back. But yeah, I think you trade off the Syrians, or you try to anyway, because the Syrians can do a lot of damage to your Oathsworn, and you don't really have another way to do that. Nicely double focusing 2 of the units, this is exactly what you should do. Take down 2 of them. If one's left, it's going to use a lot of your ammo, a lot of its ammo on your slingers. But now Sky Element does a nice thing. He's going to rotate away from these double focus fires and attack this side. Although he's kind of just running in range. If he had just run his Syrians around the back where they couldn't get shot, it would be nice. But he just wants to take a fight. He has more infantry, he has more cavalry. He doesn't want to sit around and let the slingers trade off his Syrians. He just wants to engage before that's possible. You can see the Jav having a lot of success here because there's just not a lot of pressure on them and the Vigilantes can't really do anything about it. Pops precision shots, sure. Why not? Shooting some Oathsworn, so sure. But I think you should try to engage. Yeah, he's going to do that now. Just get your Triaria in here. Start killing off the Freemen because that will force the the Oathsworn forward. Nice trade in here. The Oathsworn are quite safe though, which is good. Gets a nice charge on this Levy Freeman, but you didn't really need to do that because the Triarii will easily win this fight. Naked Spears might get a Javelin Volley in return, but they miss. So all good so far from both sides, I'd say. But this is your problem as Nervii, right? You have only these 4 Oathsworn that can do anything, and now your Levy Freemen are getting tied down. You really want to rush one side and just say, like, look, I'm going to use my Oathsworn against your spears, cycle in more Oathsworn and Celtic Warriors, whatever. Just engage on one flank. If you try to engage everywhere, your spears are just going to die. And then you're going to be 4 Oathsworn and some Cav and then Jab Cav that are going to be, not really able to stop any aggression against an entire Roman army, and you're going to be in big trouble. So he needs to get those Oathsworn in there and start killing some of these Triarii and stuff. Even if he gets countercharged by Avocati, it doesn't matter. You have 4 Oathsworn, he only has 3 Avocati. You have to take that kind of L. And you can see nice awareness here. He's even going to get the charge blocked by this Triarii, which is nice. So huge charge coming into the Mighty Horse here by the Equites. Not going to do a whole lot of damage, but it's something. Again, here, no, bad decision. Why charge everything into the Vigilate, bro? You gotta charge this Triarii and take it out of the fight. Triarii, they're not great in melee compared to an Oathsworn. So you really need to, commit into the Triarii, take them out. Oathsworn gonna get a charge out into this Abacad core, gonna do a lot of damage. But the Syrians are shooting. He's shooting Cav right now, which is understandable, but I think you have to shoot the Syrians here. Maybe he's gonna try to take the Syrians out if the Cav die. It's okay. I can live with it. Nice engagement here on these Celtic warriors from the Psychic Tactics Extraordinary. Just going to own them. And again, this is like his support is running out. These Naked Spears should be out of combat and screening against this kind of action. Because now these Celtic warriors are going to lose to the Hastati. Although, yeah, they're probably going to lose to the Hastati, although the Oathsworn and the Naked Spears in the fight. Like, the Naked Spears don't need to be here anymore, right? Like, there's melee units engaged, get the fuck out, and wait for Cav opportunities to kill Cav. But okay, the Oathsworn are going to be doing stuff on the front line here. Avocado though are no slouches even against Oathsworn. They'll still do a lot of damage. But I feel like his Levy Freemen have been in combat for too long. They need to be out of combat so that they can survive in the rear lines. And you can see one Mighty Horse already going down. Not the worst thing in the world. He popped the Force Concentration, which boosts your attack. But again, all these fodder units being engaged in the Oathsworn line is really bad because they're just taking unnecessary damage, and he really needs the support against all these Roman Cav and like reserve infantry units. But on the bright side, he got a pretty good engagement where he's like pretty much tying every Roman unit down at once. And the support hasn't got in yet, so he's not getting rear charge. There's no threat to his rear lines. So right now he can live with this because his Oathsworn are eventually going to kill everything. And if they kill everything, it's GG. But now the Cav are starting to activate, right? And now they're going to try to get into the rear lines here. They're going to try to get into the Cav. Nice block here, but this is where you needed all your Naked Spears and Levy Freemen to be out of combat so they can charge these Cav and just do damage with the Pila, shoot them down. And you can see there's about to be 3 Cav units free on the flank here. They're going to wrap around and probably kill this Oathsworn. Of course, the Oathsworn will, be able to do some damage, but... Oh, he's going for a charge here. I don't like this. He needs to tie down the Syrians, I get it, but the General is going to kill off your unit here. And, this is why he was probably focusing Cav the whole game, was like, he's really worried. If these Cav get through, he's kind of fucked. And this is starting to happen. Again, this unit, Celtic Warrior isolated against Triarii and Hastati, gonna lose. It killed off one Hastati, so not terrible. But, or maybe it didn't kill it off, but it's almost dead. But now he's running out of Cav. I don't think he should have, like, countercharged anything with his Cav. Because he got that Cav tied down in the center where it got countercharged by an Equite. Like, all this stuff is just bad because now these Cav are completely healthy. You need to just rely on your Oathsworn to kill everything and not lose any Cavs so you can defend your Slingers. But he gets a good engagement here. His Naked Spears are going to... Oh, it's actually Levy Freeman. Naked Spears are kind of over here for some reason. But yeah, this Secretary Extraordinary are going to go down to the combined Spear approach, which is really good. But, not too much Cav. Not too much Cav left, honestly. But unfortunately, he's lost all of his Job Cav except for one. That's a pretty big problem. Some Equites are going to get into the Slingers here, but the Slingers, whatever. They can, try to survive here. Spearmen are alive here to try to tie down these Equites. Now this Javkov has to make its presence felt, but you really would wish that there was more. These Oathsworn are getting shot in the back, so this is huge. Nicely turns away for a Pila here to kill off that Equite Extraordinaria. Huge move there. But Oathsworn 53, 44, 82, not the healthiest units you've ever seen. The Cav, though, for Rome, also not very healthy, so that's kind of okay. Both getting traded. The Syrian's going to have a big effect on the battle, though. Wasting his Javcav, he got one charged, like back here. This other one got charged. Now he's left with only one. Going to be harder to kill those Syrians now. He's going after the Slingers, though. If the Slingers survive, then it doesn't really matter if the Syrians survive so much. Here, nice charge from the Germanic Scout Riders. Syrians are going to be doing some damage, but there's not a whole lot left on the field. So I think you can just live with the Syrians surviving, actually. I wouldn't go for the Syrians here. Keep this Cav alive for the late game, and then just play around your own Slingers and just shoot the Syrians down, keep your Oathsworn safe. There's one Triarii at 67 men, but the rest of the Roman infantry line is gone. So I'd say that's very successful um, from the Oathhorn. They're gonna get a fuck ton of kills. But you have three Syrians here. I don't think you chase anymore. If you, I mean, maybe you try to fight these guys and you try to push back um, with your Lady Freeman or something. But there's one cav unit on the field for each player. It's a low Legatus and a low Scout Rider, so both are fine here. But you really, oh, these Oathhorn are just taking so much damage. There's this Histadi, it's gonna die off to the Oathhorn here, but these Oathhorn are just dying in melee here because they're getting shot. I think he needed pressure on the Syrians while his Oathhorn are gonna finish this melee fight, or they're just all gonna die. They're also very tired, very tired. He's not second wind, right? So he probably used Headhunt at some point, but now he's just using the slingers against the Histadi, which I understand, but if General dies, it's three Syrians against three Slingers. You probably take the Syrians. If they run out of ammo, it'll be close with the Oathhorn alive, but they probably still have ammo here. They haven't been firing all that much. He goes into Headhunt here. Might be a bit late, but probably fine. Okay, you need to stop shooting this Astadi. Like you're shooting your own General more. Probably need to just. I would focus the Syrians here. Just focus the Syrians, if at all possible. See if the Oathhorn route here before Headhunt. No, they don't. So they're gonna survive here, and both these units are pretty much gonna die. There's gonna be slightly nice to have the general alive. Oh, actually, we died, but the general unit is alive with 40 men. But there's also a Triarii here that's gonna be alive. I mean, it's pretty much dead, but it's not nothing. And there's a cav unit for both sides. Now the Syrians getting first shots into the blob here. This is GG. I mean, there's just gonna be too many dead slingers. Yeah, and the Syrians are quite healthy as well. I don't think the slingers would win the fight anyway, so he needs to basically hope that they run out of ammo, which I don't think they will. Oh, I'm lagging. No, we're good. Yeah, I mean, he's in really tight lines here, so he's just gonna get owned. Damn, the Terror, not even giving a fuck. Very tired. 16 men and counting. And they don't route, which is unfortunate. They'll go down, though. So, now you have your Syrian archers with ammo. Oh, ammo out here. Oh, shit. Maybe are they out of ammo? They are out of ammo. They are out of ammo. So now it's a kite fest for the slingers, but again, the Syrians are well suited to chasing down slingers. He surely realized they're out of ammo. I mean, like, unless they actually do have ammo. Oh, they do have ammo. Never mind. Lol. He baited them out. He baited them out very nicely there. He probably put them on melee only mode, is what I assume. But they had ammo, and so it was never actually a contest. He faked that he was out of ammo. I guess it was a bit suspicious that all three were out at the same time, but he still has ammo. So the Syrians absolutely dominate. They outplay the Oathsworn. Oh, what's up, Achilles? I didn't even see you in chat, sorry. I think Narita can split more forces and dance a bit with until they spent and try to get some levy free jabs into the cav. Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, I think he played it like to engage everywhere, but again, that's just gonna end up with your Oathhorn surviving on low men against everything of Rome. Like again, they just have too much infantry. The Syrians were good, and again, you don't do any damage to the cav prior. He sacrifices two Jav cav, and you're in big trouble there. I think you don't really have the options to kill the Syrians if you sacrifice your Jav cav early. You want to wait with the Jav cav and understand that yes, the Syrians are going to get some kills, but as long as you can kill them before they use like all their ammo, and your Jav cav live, it's going to be better than just suiciding them and getting nothing from that. And he wasn't able to do much damage to the cav because the Jav cav are also a huge means of doing cavalry damage, and since they're all dead, well, then they're not going to be throwing any javelins into cav units. And yeah, General going to survive here with 8 men. But, I mean, the Syrians, I guess they're out of ammo now. Or maybe he's just meme attacking them, I don't know. The Oathsworn will probably get a freak ton of kills on these Syrians, but, yeah, to no avail. To no avail for sure. Alright, pops loyalty to the 10. General goes headhunt, but there's just, I mean, they'll get a lot of kills here. They will get a lot of kills on the Syrians. But I don't think they will rout because there's just so many of them. Oh, the Slingers actually won, but the General routes. Kind of unfortunate there. I think the General, even with like 15 men, could have killed a lot of Syrians. But that was a close game in the end. But yeah, I think having that ammo makes it really tough. So I think you can see the Oathsworn got fine kills, really did a number on the Avocati, but there's just so much support for Rome. And he suicided so much of his cav early in the game, Dramatic Scout Riders and Mighty Horse, that he just didn't have an answer to the cav in the late game. He did an okay job dealing with them, but he had no way to kill the Syrians. The Syrians were just focus firing the Oathworm the whole time, getting rue shots, getting shots on low HP units later in the game. And the Cav, they did enough. that killed some slingers. Again, they did a lot of damage to the slinger units, which just meant that they were no match for the Syrians in the end game. It's a tough call if you want to shoot the Cav or the Syrians, but I think you use your Jav Cav to shoot the Cav, and you shoot the Syrians with your slingers. Try to delay. Like I think I agree with what Achilles said. You want to delay that fight. You don't want to just go in there. If you can try to trade more missile damage early on in the game, that's going to be beneficial for you. Your Oathsworn can stay safe. Your Slingers can at least just peg down Hastati, peg down Syrian Archers, Cav, whatever. Just keep shooting because you have more ammo, and your Slingers are more likely to die. So if you don't, if you don't use all the ammo at the start of the game, you're probably not going to be able to keep it for the end game. And if you could do some damage to the Syrians, make your infantry fight a little bit more favorable as well, shoot some cav potentially, then that's better for you. Whereas if you just go for the fight, the Syrians are going to be able to do max damage, and your slingers are going to be the ones that get pressured by the, numbers advantage of Rome. Rome has everything can pressure the slingers except for the three Syrians, which can shoot the slingers, of course, and the legatus, I guess. Whereas you can see like how many units Nervii has that really can't do much if the Cav die and the Germanic Scout Riders were behind. The Slingers are more likely to get pressured for Nervii, which means the Syrians are just gonna have a free field day. So I think shooting a bit more would be good. I feel like if you go with three Syrians, you might as well go all the way to Kite. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, so I think that's fine, but I, it's only risky because I don't know if you saw the first game, but in the first game he brought a rush. He brought like six cav and three jav cav. So I think if you see that, you're probably not inclined to go for a full kite. Um. Oh, actually, sorry, Achilles. The rules for Rome is actually max three elite missiles, so never mind. You can't do that. Although I think it would be in general an okay idea. With the shock cav, maybe you bring new minions if you're gonna do that. But yeah, the con rules prevent that, so that Rome can't do that. Otherwise, there's some matchups where it actually be quite strong. And this is one of them where it's good. But yeah, I think in the con, especially kiting with like the non-meta kite factions is actually pretty good in general. I've been doing it a lot with Massilia, which you wouldn't expect, but with like three Gallic hunters and some slingers and stuff. And of course you can get a bunch of lancers. But with Rome it is banned. I did forget about that. So you can't go all the way. And I think he wouldn't do it because of the rush from the last game. But he was able to use the Syrians really well. I mean, two chevrons, one chevron, they're owning. All right, so that's that. Now we're the other group, which is uh, Odrysians versus Iceni, Rayshauer versus Tila. Yeah, no, nah, my bad. Yeah, I forgot. It would be cool though. I think Rome kite and like Carthage kite with like five elite missiles is really fun. Of course, Carthage also has probably better units for it, like Lancers and better drive cap and stuff. But it's still kind of cool. Okay, so we are on Region here for Odrysians versus Iceni. Tough matchup for Odrysians. I think most matchups are tough for Odrysians. They do with the Arvernia archers, some on the flank. Yeah. Having like yeah, whatever the Vanguard thing is, guerrilla deploy is nice, and also just the fact that they can shoot while hidden, so you can't like shoot back at them, which is really nice if the enemy doesn't have good spotting, because then they're very weak to missiles. But I think like Arvernia and Boyai kite is like strong, like six slingers as Boyai and Arvernia is like really good. Against a lot of factions because you just have good cav as well, and your melee is very strong. But anyway, let's see the army for your boy Rice Shower, aka Eucatalius or whatever. He has a different army than I'm used to. He has five Thracian horse, one Thracian royal cav, only two Jav cav. He can bring up to four, but he's decided for only two. He does have three whatever Thracian nobles and five Thracian warriors, probably maybe a Folks in there. No, one Folks and four Thracian warriors, four slingers, and two Jav cav, four melee cav, one elite cav, and three Thracian nobles. Um, this is fine. I mean, again, Iceni just has to shoot, and they kind of win. So you have to, yeah, I think the cav is the counter to that or that Rice Hours thingy. You basically go for it with the cav. You know that the Iceni cav is not great, although it is just straight up better than the Thracian Horseman, so that's not ideal. I guess you have better armor, but it's only 10 bonus versus large and medium against heavy and 15 or and 10 bonus versus large. Okay, but the heavy versus medium is a big problem, and they don't cost all that much more, the veteran riders, so that's kind of an issue. We'll have to see though. Three Thracian nobles again, they're very nice. They can get in. We can see Tila's army now. He's got four Briton slingers. Gonna own the Thracian slingers, of course, with their higher missile damage and good armor. Um, yeah, 15 armor on the Thracian slingers, kind of shit. He is getting some nice shots here, though. This will probably do a lot of damage on this unit. He does have, let's see, probably 4 veteran riders, 1 noble heroic rider, heroic noble, 4 chosen, oh, 2 heroic nobles, goddamn. 2 heroic nobles, 3 chosen swordband, 2 spearband, probably like a couple of levy freemen, probably a couple of swordband. He has to worry about these Javcav. I see he really hates Javcav. They wish Javcav didn't exist. Yeah, he has 2 swordband. We can see them now. Suicide charge from the veteran riders. But it's actually smart. Well, kind of smart. He realizes there's no javelins on the field here for Thrash or Justins, whatever. But nice counterplay from Reichauer shooting the Cav and not running away with his slinger unit, saying, "You can charge my slingers. I don't care. I will just countercharge you." He did fear a little bit there. He got a little too close. The Thracian horsemen are going to take a javelin volley. That's not ideal. Already down 8 men. Seems a bit of an unnecessary loss. Chosen swords and heroic nobles out here on the on the flank here, a bit exposed. He says I have to go for this charge, so he takes the charge. But he has nice Thracian support, which will do a lot of damage to the veteran riders. But and yet, he has more cav, so I guess he can technically afford to trade the cav off 1 for 1. Here, Thracian noble in support here. He has to get out of here quickly with the veteran riders, and he has a spear, but the spear is gonna die. And you can see nice damage on the veteran riders there. The shots coming in. And he actually gets the better of this exchange, which is super nice. But now but now his Thracian warrior is just gonna die. So I don't know if that's super nice. He gets his cav out with 30 men, veteran rider only out with 26. So okay, here he stays in a little bit too long with his Thracian horsemen though, and they take a lot more damage. Cav's still getting shot here, so they're pretty much gonna die. Nice charge from the heroic riders, although I wouldn't say necessary. Okay, this is a bit of not allowed, but okay. Um, okay, charge comes in here. At least we charge with nice charge block here. He's sacrificing a lot of Thracian horse though. And they're gonna go down pretty quickly. Thracian Slingers shooting down some veteran riders, but again, the Britain Slingers just seems to have so much free reign here, just to shoot whatever. He's rotated these Thracian Cav all the way around their side, which means these Britain Slingers, or the rear lines in general, I see feel no threat at the moment, so he's just going to shoot down the enemy units here. Heroic Riders did take some damage here, not ideal to lose so many men early in the game, because again, the Thracian Royal Cav is going to be much stronger than the Heroic Rider, but the Thracian Nobles are only now getting into the fight. But again, if they don't have anything to cycle with, they will actually just like not do that well. I mean, they'll kill the Chosen Swordband, but they'll start to lose a lot of men. I guess he probably blocked the charge here, so he's actually going to do super well in this fight. Not actually losing almost anything because these guys didn't get a charge, and they got countercharged by the nobles. But you can see the cheap units for Thrace are pretty much dead at this point. Don't like to see that, because now it's the heroic nobles against the world, and you still don't have pressure on the slingers, so the slingers can pretty freely just shoot. These flanking units are getting around the flank pretty freely. They're going to get some javelin volleys off. You would hope, yep. Ooh, yeah. Well, Thracian horsemen not liking life here as well. And yeah, you just think the Thracian nobles are going to be overwhelmed here. I mean, there's still 2 of them pretty healthy, but you have no counterplay right now. He's lost so much cav. He doesn't have any way to really get to the slingers. Although, Iceni doesn't have a huge amount of cav, but they have enough, I would say. Like, they have a veteran rider here. But Tila probably is making a mistake in trying to chase down these slingers. Like, just defend your own slingers. That's the main thing. Keep your Levy Freeman back here. Don't let your general get shot by the Jav Cav. Don't let the slingers get charged. There's no reason to chase. These slingers fucking suck. Your slingers are way better. The more time that you can just shoot the Thracian nobles, the better off you're going to be. So you really need to just chill and defend with your Levy Freeman. Sit your Levy Freeman back here. Let your slingers shoot all day. Your infantry is winning. There's only 3 Thracian nobles left. They can't defend everything. So I think this is a bit risky. Like, there's no reason to lose these cav. If you lose your cav, you might lose the game, because then, uh, you know, your slingers will die and the Thracian nobles will kill everything. I mean, essentially, you can get kited as well. Oh, almost a mistake there, but he does get out. Tila with what's it called? The fighter general? I don't know what it's fucking called, dude. But the general that can scare people and block ability use, pretty cool to see that guy, although don't think it's very good, but still cool. But now you can see the Cav are simply just dying, and the Thracian nobles have not been shot all that much, surprisingly. One of them is dead, of course. Chosen Swordband, pretty healthy. Heroic nobles, Chosen Swordband, still pretty healthy there. Heroic noble again. He has more than enough to win the game here, is what I'm trying to say. This Slinger does get in, or sorry, Cav does get into the Slinger, and the Thracian nobles are in support here, but Tila is making the right decision to shoot the Cav. I should probably just run the Slinger away. Probably doesn't even need to charge in here with the Heroic Noble, because now you're going to let the Thracian Nobles countercharge. And actually, now the Slingers are in trouble, because, again, all this Cav is hunting. They're hunting, but they're losing their own Slinger units. And now, all of a sudden, you might actually be in trouble because you're not going to catch this shit. The general's here at full strength, and he will kill your cav instantly. So now you have to sell it with your general, sacrifice your own slingers, trade slingers with the enemy player, which is okay, but why would you do that when the enemy unit, infantry is Thracian nobles? I don't know. I can't explain that one because these slingers are infinitely more valuable than these slingers, both because they're simply better and also because the enemy units are really only going to die to slingers. So trading them off doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and it's going to be a lot harder to trade them off because this general unit is an absolute beast here. He has javelins to kill the kill the veteran riders. They're exhausted. They're useless. You can just charge into this unit. Yep, charge into the sword band. He just runs away, I guess, in the end. That's fine. Gonna hit it and kept moving. Um, yeah, whatever. I mean, this cab finally gonna potentially be able to get here, but now the Thracian nobles have done so much work here. The Jav cav are killing off the entire slinger force. There's still a full Thracian noble, and all 4 slingers are alive. Sorry. Um, and these slingers don't look like they're gonna die, to be honest. They can shoot the veteran rider. The heroic noble is 40 men, tired. The general, over here at 47 is much stronger. And okay, you still have some units um, back here, but they are very far away. And he doesn't have second wind, so his units are only going to get more and more tired. His general finally going to get in here, and I don't know if he wants to sacrifice his own general, the Thracian Rilcav here. Tila baiting the charge, but that only means that these light femurs are going to die. He's second battle rhythms his units. I think he should go for this. Try to kill off the veteran rider. Just kite these 3 in 3 different directions. Try to kill off the veteran rider. It's been isolated. Save the slinger. And the Jav cav are on the way. This is a good decision to make these Jav cav come back. They can probably kill the veteran rider in melee at 20 men. And you can see these infantry are just not catching the slingers, which you would expect. They're slower. But now, these slingers are living, and these Jav cav are alive. There's some infantry in the forest there, obviously, but there's a huge Thracian noble unit here. The general and the slingers are all alive. He baits out the charge here, a bit risky, He doesn't get a good charge here. The veteran rider's gonna die to the Javchev. And now he's just gonna say, look, I'm gonna shoot your general. And, oh, bringing the infantry in this way was a terrible move. He needed to commit into the general there to try to kill him. Does he block no, he just uses war cry for morale, but morale is not really an issue at the moment because they're winning in combat. The Thracian cavalry. So you're winning. Now the veteran riders do commit. I guess they avoid the Javcav. The Javcav are still 40 men though. Second win, nice. Frenzy charge, okay. But yeah, you're not winning this fight against the beast Thracian Roadcat with their 15 bonus versus large and good stats in general. And yeah, that's the game. So Tila had this completely won. He had this totally decisively won. But his decision to go after the Thracian slingers was a complete disaster because the general was just waiting there. The slingers were shooting. There was some infantry left alive, and that meant his slingers died. And you really needed your slingers to kill off the Thracian nobles. And yeah, there was no need to chase. Just you could do a slinger war. You could just shoot the Thracian nobles and ignore the Thracian slingers. Any of those options were fine. But he chose to trade the slingers essentially by chasing and well kited by Reichauer as well, kiting deep back into his own lines. Tila didn't give up the chase, which he certainly should have. Uh, didn't protect his own slingers. He had all of his spears just chasing, not even sitting back for the Javcav veteran riders chasing and just getting shot down unnecessarily. Just defend your own lines there, and you will be a-okay. But now we go to game 2, and we are on the beautiful Medlon. Same army, and same army it looks like. So no changes. I mean, Tila, if he recognizes a mistake there, I think he's completely fine, to be honest. He's completely fine. But yeah, same armies on both sides. I wouldn't change anything. I would just change my gameplay, I suppose. That's Tila's playstyle. Well, okay, your playstyle shouldn't be to, like, misplay that situation, I feel like. Like, you can be, like, as rushy as you want, but there's, like, no reason to do that there, I think. Like, if you're playing against Thrace, just shoot, right? Like, surely, yeah, yeah, I know what you mean, but I think it's just, like, I agree that's kind of his gameplay or his playstyle, but it's just like it's a total misplay in given the circumstances, right? Like, you don't want to trade missiles against Thrace, you want to shoot the enemy infantry, and then you would just win. because he had more infantry left. He had more infantry, more cavalry, and better slingers. The only disadvantage he had was that you had a couple of Thracian nobles, and the general was alive, or your general was super healthy and was a good unit. But other than that, and your Jav Cav, obviously. But he could have just sat back, used spears as a screen, and he probably would just take it pretty easily, I think. But I mean, you cut it out super well. Maybe he thought those slingers were easier to kill than they ended up being. He's fighting from the hill here, which is nice. It means his slingers are going to be even better. But you have nice angles on this flank. Just shoot here. And again, I think I would rush. I guess I would rush as I see you here. I wouldn't try to shoot his slingers. I mean, you can do this too, but I think there's no point. Like, you might as well just attack and then just shoot the Thracian warriors and stuff. But you are going to kill the Thracian slingers, I guess. So, like a bit weird positioning from these slingers. They're a bit overlapped, which is not ideal, but it shouldn't really matter. Nice shots into the cav here early on. Those veteran riders don't like getting shot. Cav in the backlines here, just waiting for their time to strike. And you can see Iceni has to deal with with these Jav cav with Levy Freeman, which means his front lines are a bit weaker. And so some cav are pressuring here, a bit risky I would say, but as long as as long as you run away in time, it's okay. Although you can just get shot in the back, which is not ideal. I don't know what the fuck. Are you shooting the cav? Oh, you're shooting the cav on guard mode, is what's happening here. I understand. But they're not in range, so they're just not shooting, essentially. Because if they're on guard mode, they won't shoot. Oh, maybe they will. Maybe they'll shoot whatever's in front. But yeah, the Slinger War is not going well, you could say. These guys are a bit wasted, but action on the flanks here. Ooh, you change his charge at the last moment, but you don't take a lot of pila, it's fine. Slingers get charged, which really sucks. Cow gets charged, which really sucks. Thracian Noble, no answer for the Thracian Nobles here. They're gonna smoke this unit, smoke this unit. I think at this point you don't even commit the sword band, you just say, fuck, my spear unit is dead. But other Thracian Noble, Thracian Warrior getting in here, actually it's a Falx, but whatever. Again, nice focus fire on the veteran riders. Training the Cav pretty equally here. Falxman will get a nice charge, but, on the Heroic Nobles, it's good value. They can kill some of these Heroic Nobles. But they're gonna die pretty quickly. I mean, they very quickly. But the Thracian Noble is saying, yeah, I'm healthy, I'm still here, haven't lost any men, haven't gotten shot at yet, very nice. And this time, we can have Ray Shower attacking the flank here, making it harder for these slingers to shoot, and using the fact that his Jav Cav are a real threat to make some impact here. Now he's going to go kill off a sword band, and this is where I think the Thracian Nobles really shine. This is where I like to see the Thracian Nobles. Going after cheap units with support so they can just insta-kill them. Like, if they go up against the Chosen Sword Band, if they go up against the Heroic Nobles, they will do fine. But they'll also die quite quickly. Whereas if they're going against these units that they just always one-shot, they just don't lose any men. And so they can just, like, go on a rampage against cheap units. Of course, they start taking Pila, it becomes not worth it, right? But if they can just kill, like, an entire Chosen Sword Band, lose no men, go into a Levy Freeman, kill no men, they kill the Spear Band already, that's huge, because that means that Tila's support units are almost all dying. Oh, big micro mistake here as well. Sorry, but you will get out. It's the general, it doesn't lose too many men. And the Britain Slingers here are starting to have a huge impact. Shooting down those Cav units, that's nice. Veteran Riders, gonna get... Oh, okay, well, the Sword Band just ran away from the Thracian Nobles. The Thracian Nobles are owning. They have 140 kills already. Not expensive kills, but kills are kills, right? As long as you're not losing too much else here, this Thracian Noble is gonna get owned. And it's just in a bad fight here. And you can just shoot one Pila in the back and it's kind of GG. Or like two Pila here. He's going to do it. So nice, as expected. Yeah, these Thracian Nobles are going to start to lose quite quickly. But yeah, support. Oh, yeah, a bit of a waste of the veteran riders here. And now the Slinger is going down to the Chavkov. He can still get out here as well, and he does. Nice, good micro there. Veteran riders are dying. Thracian Noble coming back to support the center fight here. Thracian warriors are going to start dying. There's a lot on the field for Tila still, but you have to say this is going better for Reichauer than last game because he got that initiative on the flank. He took some, yeah, this one on the flank, absolute destruction, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. It doesn't look like it'll probably get in the back here eventually as well. And yeah, that's where the Thracian Noble is just like so good. Charge a unit, insta kill it, charge another unit, insta kill it. Yeah, keep charging. Yep, 150 kills. Yep, no losses. I mean, they didn't take any Pila, especially no slinger fire, so that's really nice. And that's why you attack the flank, or you can pressure the slingers, push them back. They can't shoot because they feel the pressure of the Cav, and the Jav Cav especially. And so the Thracian Nobles are just freely shooting. But, in the center of the Thracian Noble, not doing so hot. 90 kills, though, not terrible. But, dead. So not ideal. Thracian Noble here, healthy. Slingers still fine. Cavalry numbers. Let's see. Veteran Rider 30 men, 28 men, 13 men. So the Veteran Riders are extremely low. 55 men, Heroic Noble. But you have a full Thracian Horseman. General's very healthy. This guy's about to die. And this cab is pretty healthy. So, and the two Jav cab are still alive. So you have better cab support here for Thrace, because these veteran riders will all get one shot by healthy cab or Jav volleys or Slinger fire essentially. But there are more units for Iceni. But you just need, I think again, Tila just needs to consolidate here. It's 3 weak slingers against 3 very healthy slingers. Actually four slingers, but they're all weak. It's 33, 81, okay, 71, 64, not terrible, but 90, 90, and 90, right? 84. So if you didn't lose that one slinger to the Cav, that would have been huge, because again, I think Tila is okay with this result, right? He traded off every single Falksman unit and Thracian Warrior, and one Thracian Noble, and he has, a full Chosen Swordband here, healthy Heroic Noble, pretty much full Heroic Noble here. These Chosen Swordband, okay, not so healthy, but he also has some Spear support, some Cab support, kind of a good amount of stuff, and 3 Slingers. Unfortunately, these units were isolated. I'm not sure why the Slingers don't just shoot, yeah, they should shoot the Cav or something, but the Jab Cav are now going to be really fucking annoying. He has enough to win this game if he doesn't suicide all his Slingers, which he might be doing right now. He might be doing right now. Not the best charge, so it's kind of okay, but the Heroic Noble Riders are also taking a lot of damage here. They got about 20 kills, but the Slingers are still fine, but you really don't want to take that damage, and meanwhile, the Thracian Nobles are still owning. Javkav did take a lot of damage for that, though, so not the worst thing in the world. But again, you just consolidate on your Slingers here, and keep shooting things, but the Thracian Nobles say, I want to keep killing stuff. 252? Yeah, 0 for 140, yeah. I mean, this might be even more impressive. 8 deaths for 254 kills. I think you'll take that. And again, they're not the most valuable kills, but if you kill 250 fucking enemy men, like, it doesn't matter what, like, that shit is insanely valuable, because that just means the enemy has 2 units, literally 2 units less. And when you take no losses, essentially, for that, you're playing 18 on 20 units that you're just gonna lose, right? So, Tula, disorganized here, can't quite get his unit set up to fire. The Slingers are having huge impact for Thrace at the moment, just shooting. The Thracian Nobles, again, just getting in there on some cheap units and killing them. I mean, this is probably the most insane kill numbers I've ever seen, like, for losses. The Slingers are fine, though. The Slingers are okay. But the question is, like, are the Thracian Nobles just going to kill everything? I don't think they can. I think if he just pullers in the support right now, he just kills the Thracian Nobles, to be honest. And then it's just GG. But with the with the support of the Slingers. But, like, this Swordband not doing anything, like, already these Thracian Nobles are starting to drop. If you just pour in any infantry unit, any fucking infantry unit, and the Thracian Nobles don't get a charge, the Thracian Nobles are not going to do shit. Cav, again, it's numbers advantage for Thrace, and that's the sort of big problem right now. Again, this Veteran Rider looks like it's going to die. The Javelins here. Okay, it might get out for now, but it's very weak. This unit, very weak. General's the only healthy unit. Again, just take the, blob attack these Thracian Nobles, block the charge with like a Lady Freeman or something and cycle charge, and you're probably fine. And again, Tila cannot second win his units, so he has to commit here. This is a fine place to engage, good as any, I'd say. Thracian Noble's gonna do a lot, but the Heroic Nobles will be okay. Here comes a very healthy Thracian Horseman, though. I try to pull it out, but it's like one Noble chase after all I see is... Yeah, it wanted blood for sure. But now this Thracian Noble is gonna die. This one is fresh, that's nice, but it is pretty weak, relatively weak. The Cav getting into the Slingers but dying, so you're okay with this so far. I think if you're Tila, you say, look, we're gonna kill off the infantry. Again, if he could second win his units, this would be a lot easier. And if he has Slingers would shoot, that would be even better. So, Chosen Swordband dying, but there's 95 Chosen Swordband here. They will win this fight, easily. Because the Thracian Noble's gonna get a charge. Gonna surround this Thracian Noble. The General's gonna commit here. But nicely just kill the Veteran Rider at 2 men and just run away. Don't stay with that Levy Freeman. And again, Tila, okay, if you can trade off this Veteran Rider, that's good. Because the General is nowhere near to killing the Slingers. But again, your General cannot die here. If your General dies to Slinger Fire, and he's focus firing the blob, as you should. But Teal's also focus firing the blob, so this is really bad. The General's just going to get owned. Fortunately, most of the unit was actually over here. Now, that was lucky. But now you've pretty much traded everything. The issue is the Slingers are still alive, and they have not been heavily damaged. The General as well, 47 men. And these Thracian Nobles, damn, I thought they would be... I thought they would lose, but they won. So, I guess it's GG. Well, yeah, that was just an impressive play from the 432 kill Thracian Noble. You'd like to see that. I mean, I think that's pretty much, if you allow this to happen against Odrysians, I think you are losing the game. But yeah, it's the combination of those Thracian Royal Cav and good play with the Thracian Nobles in general. One of them died pretty easily. Thracian Cav, some of them, or Thracian Horsemen not doing shit, but some Veteran Riders not doing shit. So, you have more Cav, that's okay. But yeah, I think he just hasn't been able to get the balance right with dealing with the slingers and using his own slingers. Like, these slingers could have so many kills. They could have so many kills shooting Falksmen, shooting Thracian Warriors, shooting slingers, but they only have 50, 60 kills. Like, I mean, they're just not doing enough, essentially. And one of them got sniped pretty early. Tila just needs to play defense, use his Pila on the shitty infantry, avoid the Thracian nobles, shoot them, and it's pretty much it, right? It's like, it's not all that complicated, I think, but anyway. But now we have the same matchup, which I didn't really realize this is the same matchup. It's Tila again, but this time against Soap instead of Reischauer. So let's see what the difference is. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, he's got 5 slingers. Okay, so very similar approach. I mean, yeah. Let's see what Tila learned. I wonder if you talked to Soap as well, or if Soap watched your games and you said like, hey, this is what happened in the games. Like this army is good, whatever. Or if Soap just winged it. That'd be interesting. So Tila has uh, 4 Briton slingers. It looks like it's pretty much the same army. He has 2 swordband, 4 cav, general, 4 slingers. I'm surprised he didn't go for 5 slingers too, right? Like 5 slingers is just OP as fuck when they do 23 missile damage with whatever AP, pretty good AP, and your enemy has like shitty weak to missile infantry. I don't know. I guess 4 is fine, not a huge deal. But Soap essentially has taken Reischauer's army from the previous game, but he sacrifices 1 Falksman for a Thracian Slinger, so he has 5 Thracian Slingers. Um, and 2 Javcav, 4 Thracian Horsemen, actually, sorry, 5 Thracian Horsemen, and the Thracian Royal Cav. He has 5 Slingers, 3 Thracian Nobles, 4 Thracian Warriors, and 2 Javcav. Tila here, okay, he's playing anti-Javcav here. He seems very serious, very well deployed army. But he has the same army as before: 4 Slingers, 4 Chosen Swordband, or 3 Chosen Swordband, 2 Heroic Nobles, 2 Swordband, 2 Levy Free, 2 Spearband. Heroic Rider Gen, 4 Veteran Riders, yeah. Javcav, nice shot onto the Cav there. Pretty surprised they were able to do that, but they did. Reischauer, or sorry, Soap probably is going to want to skirmish even more with the 5 Slingers. Again, probably just force your Thracian Nobles into good fights, shoot down the enemy Cav, and then play the endgame where you have the Javcav to kill the Slingers, and better Cav. 6 Cav against 5, and also the better Gen. And the 2 Javcav, of course. But any missile war will still be kind of tough, because the Thracian Slingers suck, so you'll have to deal with it somehow. We're trading missile fire. 2v1 in here is going to be very nice with right-sided shots from this unit. It's going to start obliterating the men on the end of the line. Bit of losses there on the Thracian Cav, not ideal. Kiting on the other flank, shooting where he has the numbers advantage. Makes sense. Tila not accepting that fight. But over here, you can see both slingers taking some good damage. But again, if the Breton slingers are traded for the Thracian slingers, it's probably better for Soap. But it's not actually that clear because again, all these other units can just die to Pila, and then the Thracian nobles can die to the heroic riders or heroic nobles and like Trojan swordmen. So even if the slinger is trade off, I think it's kind of unclear who's better. Even though you'd think, of course, that it favors Tila, but or sorry, favors Soap because there's no slingers to kill the cheap units and the Thracian nobles. But even then, Odrysian units are just so weak to missiles that Pila is enough, and just sustained combat in general, really. But of course, there's 7 million units to cycle charge. That could be big. So we've been 6 minutes of skirmishing here, just trying to get a fight. But you could say Soap is getting the edge here. He's routing that unit, and ooh shit, here comes some charges. Nice Cav deny. Here charges, whatever. Oh, this Thracian noble might get owned here. He's gonna take the rear shots, but again, rear shots are the same as front shots because they don't have shields. Nice charge here. And now the countercharge from the Thracian Noble will be devastating. Over here, looks like this fight, gonna be kind of nice for both sides. Nice shots from the Javcav into the Veteran Riders. Thracian Warriors, 110 men, don't be fooled by the yellow morale, they're actually fine. Another nice countercharge here. The Slinger dies, but a nice charge block on the Chosen Swordband. The General's staying in way too long here, though for so bit of a miss micro. But a very important miss micro, because this General is weak. That really hampers his cavalry superiority. And even here, you can see the Veteran Riders, much better than the Thracian Horsemen. So they're going to start to kill them without support. And the General also very weak. Jakov dying here, and this is not looking great for Soap because he's being pushed back. His slingers can't shoot. This Thracian noble gonna get surrounded and probably die. Chosen Swordband, not even losing so badly, but they will lose. Over here, Tila is dominating, although he's killing off those support units very easily, and now the Thracian nobles are getting in. Whereas the other game, especially that last game from Reichsauer, it was Tila support units that were dying before anything else would happen, and the Thracian warriors would sacrifice themselves to keep the Oathsworn or the Thracian nobles killing. But again, Thracian Noble's gonna get in here, gonna do some damage, but look at this. Look how close this fight is. Not good. Not good. The Veteran Riders did get a recharge to help it out, but look at up the line, you would see the Thracian units are losing, and 5 Slingers, which are not shooting and are about to be, outnumbered, and probably this is just winning for Tila. You would assume. Shots coming into the Veteran Riders are nice, but again, your cav is just worse, and that's the problem. Individually, the cav is worse. They really need the support of those Thracian warriors and slingers and the general to really outplay the Veteran Riders. Of course, shots into the Veteran Riders are also quite nice. But yeah, up and down the line, you can see just, these Thracian nobles are also out of position. They killed off some stuff on the flank, but Scylla just like rushed past the Thracian nobles, said, okay, your Thracian nobles can win somewhere. I'm just going to bypass them and keep pushing. And he is successfully doing that. Getting to the slingers. Slingers are routing, no pressure on the Britain slingers this time. And the Britain slingers are now going to have a field day shooting whatever they please. And, Soap's general, of course, being so low in the early game was not ideal. Thracian Noble's going to get an absolutely massive recharge here. But I wonder if it is too late for them. I think this game is pretty much over. So, well played from Tila. I think this was better. But I also think, like, it was played slightly differently from Soap than the way that Reichsauer did previously. So, maybe, the Thracian Nobles didn't get good engagement on the flanks. They really got ran around, and the center got pushed too quickly, and of course the Cav just died so fast. The Thracian Horsemen just nothing at all to speak of. The General got mismicroed, so that's part of it as well. But the Slingers didn't get time to shoot, essentially. He did nicely with them in the skirmishing phase, but once the rush happened, he just wasn't able to handle it. Thracian Warriors died. Nice kills on the Thracian Nobles, but none of the other support units did well. Thracian Nobles eventually died, and there's too much support left. And that's my thinking. Like, I seen he also has 7 melee. And with only 3 Thracian Nobles, the 5 Elite Melee, the Chosen Swordband, and the Heroic Nobles are absolutely going to demolish anything that's not a Thracian Noble, so you're just going to be outclassed in the melee department pretty significantly. And then you have absolutely no sort of spear support, whereas there's 4 spears on the field for Iceni, which just means your cav are going to get pressured pretty quickly, and the Veteran Riders are much better than the Thracian Horsemen. And he wasn't able to use his cav numbers very well, because sure, he could go behind or something with his cav, but that's not really going to do anything. Like, in this case, Teal was like, fuck it, you can go behind and try to kill my slingers, but I'm gonna kill your slingers by just YOLO rushing everywhere, basically. And that seemed to work. Whereas in the previous games, I think Tila only rushed later in the games, and that was once Reichsauer's like situation was already he was able to cut it out. There wasn't enough units left. The cav was all weak for Tila, it was all shot up. But here Tila just rushed from the start when everything is healthy, and that makes a big difference. So let's see. Same armies on both sides. So clearly Soap thinks, well, I didn't play that so well, but I can fix it. And sure, I think he made a couple of big mistakes with the general, probably didn't kite for as long as he could have, considering he was doing so much damage to the Britain Slingers. So, no issues there. Take the same army again if you think it's going to work. I mean, it pretty much worked for Soap, or for Reichauer, so why not? Teal's pretty spread out like he was last game. Also, a notable difference from the previous game. against Ray Shower. He was a bit more spread out here. He says, look, if you want to take a fight everywhere, I think Iceni is better there, right? Because anywhere there's not a Thracian Noble, you are going to lose as Thrace. So, sure, we take a fight everywhere. I'll kite your Thracian Nobles. I'll try to fight everything else. And that's a winning strategy, I think. So it's up to Thrace to try to make sure that Thracian Nobles get the good engagements and avoid getting rushed so hard. Missile War gonna come down here. Not a full one though. It's 3v5 up front as well because this unit is defending the rear against Shavkav, which is unfortunate. And a symptom of having to play so wide like this, or of playing so wide, is that you have to use more units to defend your ass. So that's not ideal. Missile War coming through, but he's getting double focus fired here, which is very nice for IC. And now now it's the Britain units that are going to get double focus fired. So the trades there. Yeah, Britain Slingers have better health. Oh, nice. Oh, we gave up on that, huh? To kill about 2 men though, 3 men with the Veteran Rider. But yeah, nice focus fire. Routes that Britain Slinger off the field. Very nice. That shouldn't happen. But one Thracian Slinger also getting routed, so take what you will. But the Britain Slingers are starting to get focused pretty heavily here, and they're not liking that at all. So nice skirmishing from Soap so far. He looks like he wants to be aggressive on this flank. He's pressuring some slingers in the center, not getting too many shots off of that, but some. And yep, now Soap is a bit more active in this game. He's not letting himself get rushed. He's taking some initiative on the flanks, although his Thracian Noble is kind of bailing out of there, which is not great. I get that he wants to fight here, but he needs to bring the Thracian Noble in here and just take the flank. Don't try to fight in the center where you're, because again, anywhere where it's just flanking units on flanking units, these Thracian Warriors will do well, but I see he's going to win those fights eventually. Although his Javcav are both here to shoot the general, so this is not great for Thrace, or for Iceni, but he actually gets into the Javcav here, which is good. That is good. Thracian Noble's gonna get a huge charge here into 2 units, but nicely kited here from the Heroic Nobles saying, no, we don't want to fight you when you're charging me. I want to run away. Swordband, gonna get some kills probably. Veteran Riders and Thracian Horsemen gonna trade out here. Actually, it's Heroic Rider, never mind. This Thracian Horseman is just dead. This guy's gonna live though. They're charging a Thracian Noble, not ideal, but it will prevent them from charging the Heroic Nobles, and they're charging slightly downhill, which is nice. So this Thracian Noble is just going to insta-die to the counter-charge of the Heroic Nobles, and that's the problem here. When you move this unit towards the center instead of going to the flank, he's preventing any support from like easily reaching this unit, and also isolating his flank. So now these 2 units were isolated, the Thracian Warrior and Cav over here, and the Thracian Noble here, and now both of them are going to die. I think that the Thracian units need to maintain cohesion to fight together so they can cycle charge a lot. Because now like this Heroic Noble cycle charges on the Thracian Noble, and now the Thracian Noble is literally going to get no kills on the Heroic Noble. Just going to die. And that's terrible for the Thracian Nobles, a very good trade, and you really need your Thracian Nobles to do so much damage, and that's why if they go into into the lair of the enemy, into the enemy's nest, as it were, where there's so many units, they can just block the charge with the shitty Swordband, countercharge with the Thracian Noble, or the Heroic Noble, sorry, and the Thracian Noble is just dead. It has no impact. Whereas when they're on the flanks, you have the Javcav, you have more Cav, you have the Thracian Warrior support, and there you can really make the Thracian Nobles get into whatever fight you want, where they're going to perform, a lot better. So I think that's the difference. Trades coming out through here. Veteran Rider quite healthy, is going to win this fight. Thracian Warrior though, gonna do some nice kills, but just die. And this is the problem with Thrace, just you do some nice kills and then die, and the enemy units are still alive, honestly, so not great. Here, nice charge from the Thracian Horsemen, good counter charge from the Thracian Warriors, but again, sure you do that, but that doesn't make up for the fact that this unit is already dead. And again, Tila is just overwhelming this flank. I think if Soap wants to rush the left flank here, or the right flank from his perspective, he needs to commit to it with a Thracian Noble, 2 Thracian Warriors, your Javcav on the flank, so Cav running in, other Thracian Noble running over here. Really commit to taking that flank. Don't fight everywhere. If you fight everywhere, you will lose. So he rotated to this flank, but then he kind of gave it up and let Tila actually have more numbers there, when he should be the one with more numbers. He is the one that rotated over there. He brought, you bring a Thracian Noble, you bring your Javcav over here. That should be a tough fight for Tila to win, but instead it was just quite clean for him to kill off that Thracian Warrior. This Thracian Noble just sacrificed itself into the middle of nowhere, was actually the second one to die here. And Tila is quickly realizing, I think, that as soon as the Thracian Noble charges one unit, wait 2 seconds, charge in another unit, and the Thracian Noble is just not going to do anything to the second unit, right? If it doesn't get a charge, the Thracian Nobles are terrible. They are terrible, 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 because their defense is just so low. Especially against these pretty good units, Heroic Nobles and Judge Zorband, they're not going to do anything unless they get a charge. So you just block the charge of the Thracian Nobles and you win, and everywhere else you just win by existing, simply because the Thracian Warriors and the Thracian Horsemen are so shite. And he hasn't been getting any pressure on the Slingers, besides in the skirmish phase. He's winning the skirmish phase and then not doing anything to the Slingers, so they're freely shooting. And yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think this is just the fact that Thrace has a pretty obvious weakness, and it's getting taken advantage of pretty easily here. By Tila, he's just saying, I will walk forward, I will kill your Thracian warriors, your Thracian nobles, like, might do something, but I will just countercharge them eventually with a good unit and it will die, and your Cav is worse than my Cav, and yes, the Jav Cav are doing a pretty good job being annoying, forcing units to remain in the rear lines, but it's still kind of insufficient, I think. And the General, again, he's just like, I'm here, but everything else is dead. So I think this game was better than the last game, but I don't think it's anything to write home about, to be honest. Like, it's not going to be particularly close, unless these Javkar can, like, kill the slingers thing. Learner Runners, 5 men, whatever. But now, the numbers are simply too many. Too much cav, too much infantry. Can just bait, yep, sacrifice Levy Freeman. Oh, Levy Freeman, they're dying. Oh, the misery. And countercharge. Well, I guess they're charging this unit, but okay, they killed that, and they're going to keep running forward. So that's good, but yeah, there is no stopping the simple arithmetic of more infantry units and more cavalry units. And yeah, I mean, the Thracian nobles are going to do a lot, the Thracian Royal Cav will do a lot, but there's no stopping the numbers. Even here, he did a good job to make it so close, but eventually he just needs a blob attack, and he will win. He uses the Heroic Noble as a sacrifice here with Headhunt, makes sense. Tries to get some counter charges. I mean, the Thracian Noble will do a lot here. He's getting a lot of counter charges, but there's just too much. And it's just like these isolated Thracian Nobles just die so fast. Um, you know, Glass Cannon at its most, like, clear, basically. So, 2-0 for Tila. It is best of 5, though, so we have to see if Soap will change up the approach. Because things are not going so well, you might say. Things are a bit tough at the moment. So does he change it up, or does he say, I believe in my army? He said, I believe in my army. Okay. But surely he has to change up his approach. Again, it's really about dominating those flanks with the Thracian Noble. I think that's the main thing. You have more Cav, you have Jav Cav, you have more Slingers, you have better one-for-one infantry, although sort of not true, but kind of. You have to dominate the flanks. Force Tila, if he's in a place spread out, force your Cav advantage and Thracian Noble advantage and, like, charge advantage on the flanks. Fuck the middle of the battlefield, doesn't matter. Dominate a flank and or both flanks and try to just kill off the support units, cycle charging the Chosen Swordmen and Heroic Nobles with Thracian Nobles, and you have a shot. And this game is 26 minutes long, so settle in for the long run, I guess. It's already 1 o'clock, goddamn. I only chose like 7 battles, but I guess they're more in-depth. We are in the playoffs and like the last group stage, so you know that makes more sense. The games are higher quality, certainly have been pretty good so far. But you know, at this level, I think the players are better able to take advantage of mistakes. And I think we saw that with Reichauer against Tila. Reichauer is taking advantage of Tila's mistakes pretty successfully, and now we kind of see the other way around, where both the weaknesses of the faction, obviously, and also just like mistakes, like you know the general mismicro in the first game, and the Thracian noble sacrifices in the second game, are being well taken advantage by Tila in this series. So you know you expect that all these guys are in the playoffs for a reason. You expect them to be able to make a difference when your opponent fucks up. 1 unit in the back here, 3 slingers on the left side for Tila, abandoning this right flank completely, saying, I don't think these units will be able to shoot me. I would put my 3 units over here, though, so I don't get shot in the right side. You know, at least if these units flank around, they're shooting you in the shielded side, which is nice. Um, but we'll see. Britain Slingers, they're chilling. They are certainly chilling, and it's up to Soap, I guess, to make a play here. He has more missile units, so he's just setting up the skirmish. But so far we've seen 7 minutes of nothing happening, no one moving, nobody trying to start a fight. Deal doesn't want to walk in here because he's going to get outshot by the slingers, and I guess Soap doesn't want to walk forward yet. So we'll see. Tila bait some shots, I guess. Kind of weird. I don't know if that was like a misclick or something. Like, I guess he baited out some ammo from the slingers, but that seems a bit risky. We're just chilling back here. We are just chilling. Nothing going on. Maybe somebody had to go take a phone call or something. Who knows? But surely something will happen. Something will certainly happen in the next 16 minutes and 15 seconds or so. So now Tila says, "Okay, I'm going to start a missile war over here. 2 for 1 here. This is risky because you're getting right side shots here, but the missile war is well underway. So congratulations, we have some combat. 2 for 1 here, probably 2 for 1 here and 1 for 1 here. But now a second slinger just comes up here, but they're together, so they're just gonna get they're not gonna do as well as they could. But he's shooting the cav here. He's not shooting into these slingers, so the Thracian slingers are going to take a lot of damage. Sorry, the Thracian slingers are going to take a lot of damage here. They are rotting, but so are these Bryn slingers, but so are these Thracian slingers, because they're getting 2 for 1 shot. And so the missile war has really evened out here, because these two slingers were not engaged at all, and the fourth slinger came forward actually, and because there's no dev cap behind. So now it's on Soap to make something happen. He's losing his glorious missile war. His Thracian nobles are being shot and already lost 3 men. Nice charge from the veteran riders here. Nice little juke move there. Gonna kill some men. Veteran riders not gonna lose a whole lot of men. Thracian horsemen gonna lose a lot more men. 60 armor, 80 health on these guys, and 85 health on the veteran riders. So who are the players? We have Soap from the clan Cat on the left here as Thrace, or Adjacent Kingdom, and we have Tila, Russian dude, on the right, as I see. Those are the players. This is the first round of the playoffs. It's double elimination, so the loser is not out. They will continue to fight for their life in the lower bracket, and yeah, winner will move on to the upper bracket semifinals. Yep, some nice linear fire here. These Thracian nobles have taken a lot of damage, and they're not gonna like that. Ooh, and the Thunder Riders, no, you're gonna counter charge. This is nice. These Thunder Riders are gonna get owned because Thracian nobles just fuck up Cav. But the Thunder Riders will escape without too much pain, and Soap just hasn't been able to get anything going. He's the Thracian noble here, doesn't want to make the same mistake, but he's losing a Thracian warrior. The flanks are being dominated still by Iceni, and there's so many units out here just doing absolutely nothing. Which is why I was saying I think you need to attack a flank, just commit, send your units over here, try and dominate the flank with Thracian nobles. Again, he's not really doing that. He's just getting overwhelmed, I think, a little bit by the power of the Iceni units, which is just to say the weakness of the Thracian units, essentially. And now again, charge blocked. Veteran Riders sacrificed. It will lose a fuck ton of men to the Thracian nobles, but the Thracian nobles don't get a charge. Yeah, we can live with that. And Thracian nobles are simply going to own everything here. Again, the Slingers having a healthy field day. The Jeff haven't had this much impact. They should be behind, I think. And just being annoying. Thracian nobles gonna kill off a Chosen Swordman, but again, it's not really a great trade because you're gonna take a lot of damage doing that. Nice javelins in here. Thracian nobles will kill off probably a lot of these heroic riders. They can get a great charge though. And on the retreat, yeah, they're gonna start to drop. But now again, it took so much damage. There's 60 men. I mean, Chosen Sword are going to clean that up. Here you can see Thracian Nobles 109 to 90. Not really winning by that much. Thracian Noble here is dead, and we're just seeing the same problem. Overwhelm the infantry, and fairly simple to clean up the other shitty units, the Thracian warriors and stuff. Cav, the Cav advantage not having so much impact. It was having a lot more impact when Reichauer was playing, simply because he traded off the veteran riders early in the game. He traded off the veteran riders, they were weak, they couldn't pressure the slingers, and then he also couldn't deny the Thracian nobles from moving around the battlefield. I think he just used the Thracian nobles better on the flanks. In the center, they're just easy to shoot, easy to like cycle charge them, easy to block the charge with the veteran riders. On the flanks, they're much more free. They can do whatever the fuck they want, and when Thracian nobles can just charge around and do whatever they want, and not get countercharged, not get charged, their charges blocked, they have a lot more impact. And you can see the veteran riders, it's the Thracian horsemen that are suffering more losses now than the veteran riders. General, okay, 39 men because he did that charge into the Thracian noble, but nice use of the ability there. Finally, the Javcav having some impact, but imagine if they were just behind the whole game. It would force these units to stay and keep an eye on them. Now, the Slingers are alive, and the veteran riders are pretty weak in general. There's more cav on the field um, for your boy Soap and Thrace, but I'm not convinced that there's anywhere near enough because there's Slingers to kill all this infantry and the Slingers because there's no infantry left. You know, the Thracian nobles didn't survive, weren't able to kill a lot of the cheap infantry. And again, if you just kill the cheap infantry, the Levy Freeman, the sword band, maybe some of the chosen sword band with your Thracian nobles and your Thracian warriors, it's okay if the heroic nobles survive. It's okay if the chosen sword band survive. If you can keep your Thracian nobles killing those cheap units, kill off those veteran riders, your kite will succeed. I guarantee you. Especially if you can keep some of the Thracian nobles alive. And that's why the flanks are so good. Run in the flanks, kill the cheap units. Your Thracian nobles don't get shot, they don't get charged. The heavy infantry can't get out to them as easily. Those Thracian nobles will get a lot of kills and live for an end game where the enemy cav will be weak. Your cav will be slightly healthier. You got Jav cav. And all the enemy will have is these heavy infantry that really can't chase slingers around, and you have more slingers. So that's a good end game for you. This Thracian noble though is going to do some nice work with the Jav cav here to kill some slingers. Only 3 slingers alive compared to 4, but I can't say it really matters all that much because, this is not enough to win a game, essentially. Now, it might be close here, especially if Tila, yeah, I was going to say, if Tila keeps chasing here, it's terrible because now he can actually isolate some of these units and kill them off, whereas if he just runs away, reconsolidates, that's going to be much better. It'll take some back shots, but that's okay. We can allow that because at least you'll be consolidated. You have your 3 slingers against 4 slingers that are worse than yours. Just do a slinger war and you'll win the game, essentially. Prevent the Jav Cav from doing shit. There is a Cav advantage here for um, Odricians, which is nice. So what Soap needs to do is spread out and try to get out these slingers, but with no infantry, literally not a single infantry unit and so much enemy infantry, you're in big trouble here. It's going to be very hard to do that. So, okay, now he needs to run away and spread out here. Running away in range. So this slinger, again, 51, 30, 90, and 90 against, 72, whatever. This unit's pretty weak, and another 90 men here, 74, sorry, 37 and 68. There's just not enough slingers to decisively win the slinger war, so he needs his cav to kill the slingers. Now he's doing that now. Nice. Get into there. Just keep doing this with his cav. Keep juking, keep jockeying for position, keep killing slingers. Only use your slingers at the last possible moment when the enemy slingers are dead, so you don't waste ammo and you don't get shot, which will waste even more ammo essentially. Sprint Slinger might be out of ammo. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But okay, he's gonna route this Slinger. I think it's out of ammo. Yeah, it looks like it is. No, are these guys out of ammo? No. Are these guys out of ammo? Yes. So the Slingers are out of ammo for Iceni. So that's huge. Now you have Kevenge, spread out, rear shots only. Your general is super healthy here, so you can potentially have chances to win here. The enemy cab is all but dead. And you just shoot down the heroic noble. Fuck the chosen swordband, doesn't matter, they'll die to the gen and the cav, hopefully, in theory. I think he doesn't realize these are out of ammo, but that's fine. The Jav cav aren't worth much besides shooting down the slinger, besides killing the slingers, so it's fine. Oh, but wait. Why, okay, the slingers are all isolated here, I'm not sure what that's about. So yeah, just sacrifice the Levy Freeman to push these slingers back. Goes for a big attack in the center here, probably because the fatigue was very bad. So I don't hate that, but you need to get out here and play for your slingers, right? So he does a lot of damage. If he's just shooting the general the whole time here, it's okay. It's not too bad. But he loses a lot. The general, 20 men. Did the general die? Yeah, general died first race. Yeah, I don't think going for that attack is so good, although he just might have been out of ammo. He might have been low on ammo, so he didn't have a better option. But to go while they were tired, understandable. But, yeah. In the end, can't do much. just the slingers just don't have enough impact. They're not good enough. If you had the opposite slingers, if the Britain slingers were worse and the Adrician slingers were better, then this would be a completely fine endgame, I think. But you used so much ammo early on the slingers and during the fight. His Cav got nothing. His Thracian warriors, they did okay, some of them, but these are not good kills. Thracian nobles just not having enough impact. And again, it's just the infantry alive for Iceni, and not much to do at that point. So GG's. It's a tough matchup, I think. Tila played much better here, although I also think Reichauer did some better things than so, but it's a tough matchup. So, both are still alive in the tournament. Chances in the lower bracket, but we'll have to see. So, I guess that's everything I have for that replay review. Up next, maybe we'll do a Sarah versus Soap in the lower bracket. I don't want to care about watching Ranger versus Semi-Naked because Sparta is just so bad. And then we'll have the upper bracket semis, Sky Element versus um, Reichauer. Odrysians versus Rome, kind of a fun matchup. Not really a terrible matchup for Odrysians, actually. It's actually, I think one of the better matchups for Odrysians. Not the best, of course, but one of the better ones because Rome doesn't have a lot of javelins, and they don't have cheap missile units, so they can't really shoot down your cheap units so well. But it's also Rome, so whatever. But that'll be a fun one. And then it's me versus Tila in the other upper bracket semi. That'll be fun. Hopefully some good games there as well. And yeah, lower brackets games from the next round will be interesting as well. Losers of our upper bracket games against the winner of Skylement, or Semi-Naked and NCR Ranger, and Aster, and so those are the lower bracket games. So Skylement can play tomorrow. Okay, cool, nice. And if I'm playing Tila either today or tomorrow, then we will be done with the upper brackets semifinals quite soon, which is good. Yeah, I think your games will be really interesting. I'm looking forward to see the result of that. I think you have good chances. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. It was fun. GG's to everyone. Those are some pretty good games. Hotly contested, which is what you want to see. But anyway, see you guys in